I don't have time. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to socialize with anyone. I'm always working, yet I still don't have enough time to do everything that I need to get done. I mean, just look at this channel. I'm supposed to be uploading one video every week. I have a problem with time management, and if you're watching this video, chances are you do too. So let's fix it. I've never been good at managing my time. I didn't go to uni and I started working out as a freelancer, so I never had to learn. I was a high-functioning procrastinator. I would go days without doing anything at all, and then I'll sit down for 16 hours straight to finish a project that I had to submit 2 minutes before the deadline. But all of that changed 2 years ago when I got my current full-time job. Because I was contractually required to work 8 hours a day, I couldn't just do whatever I wanted with my time. And let's just say it didn't work out too well. Take a look at this channel and you can see the exact time I lost control of the wheels of time. In the whole of 2023, I made a grand total of 1 video. The problem wasn't that I didn't have time, it's that I didn't have those random 16-hour marathons to get work done. I needed to find a way to structure my time and my work such that I could do them in focus sprints throughout the week. So I made the decision to learn how to manage my time. After watching a ton of productivity videos, reading articles and research papers, I learned that there are way too many time management hacks, tools and systems, and it can be pretty overwhelming, especially if you're just getting started. But you don't need all of that. In fact, if you just want something simple that works, there are only 2 things that you need to be doing. 1, use a calendar. What better way to manage your time than using one of the oldest tools ever designed to track time and seasons? Meetings, reminders, time-sensitive activities. Using a calendar is one of the easiest ways to start managing your time. It also helps with procrastination. When you don't know what you should be doing, it's easy to just pick up your phone and scroll on TikTok for hours. With a calendar, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you also know that later is already marked for something else, and so you can't procrastinate, which makes you just get right to the task. 2, write a to-do list. The mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Whenever you remember something you have to do, write it down in your to-do list immediately. That way, when you do have the time to sit down and get some work done, you're not wasting time trying to remember what you should be doing, you're just doing it. There are many more complex productivity systems and hacks that you can implement. You can design your ideal week, use a daily highlight, time block, bullet journal. The list is endless. But as Pareto's principle states, 80% of outcomes result from 20% of all causes. Or, in simpler terms, you only need to put in around 20% of effort to get 80% of the results. And in the case of time management, 80% is great for most people. Sure, if you're a CEO with a multi-million-dollar business, first of all, why are you watching this video? Secondly, you probably want to be closer to 100%. But for the rest of us, this most basic form of time management is probably all you'll ever need. Or so I thought. It's been around 5 months since I started this whole time management journey. And although it's been a lot better than not having any system in place at all, it's not been as good as I have hoped. Now, this is how I set up my calendar at the beginning of the year. I would wake up at 7:45, get to the gym at 8, back home at 9:30, cardio till 10, breakfast till 11, work on this channel from 11 to 1, nap, and then clocking at my job at 2. This was great on paper. In real life, it just didn't work. And that's for one reason: energy. As humans, we've always strived to create the most efficient way to do things. From our ancestors domesticating animals for their labor to figuring out agriculture so we didn't have to hunt for our food, it's something we've always done. In the early 1900s, Frederick Winslow Taylor took this concept of efficiency to a whole new level through a purposeful scientific approach to getting things done faster and with less effort. But the problem with Winslow's ideology, or Taylorism as it was called, is that it was designed to increase output without accounting for anything else. And we see the same thing today with all the productivity and time management hacks that promise to save you just a little more time each day. If you've tried any of this productivity advice before, then I'm sure you're also familiar with this routine. You write down 16 different things on your to-do list, put your clothes out the night before to prevent decision fatigue, only to wake up and see your daily routine completely derailed at noon because you're too tired from going to the gym at 6 a.m. to do any thinking at your day job. You see, what I realized after the last 5 months is that time management is great if you're a robot who works in sync with the clock. But our bodies just aren't built like that. There's a reason you don't find any clocks in nature. Our bodies are designed to respond to the sun and not to the clock. This is what is referred to as the circadian rhythm, or the biological clock. Unlike a mechanical clock that's accurate to the millisecond, our circadian rhythm is more fluid, adjusting to the light and darkness of our surroundings. It's also unique to every individual. Some people are night owls who are able to do their best work at night, while others are early risers, and most of us, like me, are somewhere in the middle. Our circadian rhythm tells us when we should go to bed, what time we should be waking up, and our energy levels throughout the day. The problem with regular time management advice is that it doesn't take this into account at all. All you're doing is scheduling your activities according to the mechanical clock and completely ignoring your biological clock. Imagine scheduling your most creative work during your afternoon slump when your body is least productive. Sure, you might be able to force yourself to sit down and do the work, but what you produce won't be your best work. And this constant fight against your body can also lead to burnout in the long run. When I figured this out, it changed everything. Now, here's what my current day schedule looks like in harmony with my circadian rhythm. I go to bed around midnight and wake up around 8 a.m. About the time you wake up, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, and stops producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. This is what gets you out of bed. Then you have rising energy for the first few hours after you're awake. With this in mind, I go straight to work right after I wake up. No 1 hour morning routine, nothing like that. I just wake up, brush my teeth, wash my face, and get to work on my most important task for the day, which is mostly either scripting or editing these videos. I use this rising energy to work for the next 4 hours, only pausing sometime in between to have breakfast whenever I'm hungry. Around noon, this energy starts to go down. This is what most people refer to as the afternoon slump. And this is where I made the most significant change. Before figuring out energy management, I would go to the gym first thing in the morning, which meant that I had to work through this afternoon slump. And it was a real struggle. On most days, I would sit at my desk and just stare at a blank Google Docs page, thinking that I didn't have inspiration to write. Meanwhile, it wasn't inspiration at all. It was just because my body's energy levels had dropped for today. After learning about energy management, I switched things out. Now, I go to the gym during my afternoon slump because it's a physical activity, which makes it much easier for me to push through the slump, literally. After this period, your energy levels rise significantly again and you get what's called the peak performance period. Olympic athletes who perform during their body's natural peak performance period have the highest odds of breaking a world record. It's that important. For me, this works perfectly because my peak performance period falls neatly into the start of my workday. So I'm able to get the most challenging and creative tasks out of the way during this period. And then I can use the rest of my time to do less demanding tasks like checking email and stuff like that. And then once it's 10 o'clock, I can chill until midnight when I have to sleep. Honestly, this small change has completely transformed my productivity. Before, I would have weeks when I didn't go to the gym because I was working on a video. But now I'm able to do everything I want every single day. And the best part is I'm not burnt out at all. In fact, I feel way more energized while performing better than I used to. Before, I took naps every day to regain my strength after the afternoon slump, but I don't need it anymore. When I get back from the gym, I feel even more refreshed than when I did after taking a nap. I wrote this entire script in 3 days following this method. That's the fastest I've ever written a script. It's honestly incredible, and I can't recommend it enough. If you also struggle with time management, then this is something I think you should definitely try. Hi there, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Emeka and I love to share the science and technology behind living your best life. If you're thinking, wow, this video should have more views, then liking and sharing it is honestly the best way to tell YouTube that the video is worth watching. Until next time, thank you very much for watching.